Welcome to CINEPRO, where we bring your favorite movies back to life with quick recaps, hidden details, and everything you missed. The movie starts at Alex's house, where he is packing his travel bag for a school trip to Paris with his friend. After getting his things ready, he says goodbye to his father and goes to sleep so he can wake up early for his trip. But before he falls asleep, he hears a strange voice calling him and feels as if something is watching him. The next day, Alex meets up with his friends Todd and Hitchcock at the airport, along with the other 40 students going on the trip. They check their papers, but Alex notices that almost all the flights have been changed or delayed except for theirs. The airport employee tells him he's lucky, as a flight number matches the day of his birth. The students gather in the waiting hall. Alex, his friends, Clear, the introverted girl who doesn't talk to anyone, Carter and his girlfriend Wendy, and their supervising teacher Ms. Lu. Strange things start happening, like Clear's book randomly opening to a page about a plane crash, and Alex hearing the voice of a singer who died in a plane crash while he's in the bathroom. Alex starts to feel that something is wrong. Everyone boards the plane except Hitchcock, who is late and can't be found. The weather is stormy and rainy. A group of girls ask Alex to switch seats so they can sit together, and he agrees, sitting next to Todd. The tray table at his new seat is broken and he tries to fix it but can't. The flight attendant stands as the plane starts moving on the runway and takes off. The students celebrate and clap as the plane finally takes off, but then the plane starts shaking slightly, then returns to normal. Suddenly, the turbulence returns stronger than before. The cabin lights go out, things start falling, and the oxygen masks drop. A fire breaks out on one side of the plane and suddenly there's a huge explosion, leaving a big hole in the plane. Passengers start flying out one by one. Miss Luton tries to hold on to one of them but can't. The fire spreads through the plane, Alex burns, and the plane explodes. Alex wakes up from all this, realizing it was a nightmare. He quickly runs to the seat he was in during the dream and sees that the tray table is also broken. Alex panics and starts shouting that the plane is going to explode. Carter attacks Alex to shut him up. Wendy tries to calm Carter, Ms. Luton tries to quiet them, and Hitchcock, who was late, has just arrived. The flight security comes and tells anyone not in their assigned seat to leave the plane. Alex, Carter, Wendy, Ms. Luton, Hitchcock, Todd, Clear, who had nothing to do with anything but got scared, and the French teacher who was with them all leave the plane. Luton asks security to let the French teacher back on the plane to be with the other students, and they agree. She stays at the airport, talking to Alex and asking him what happened. He explains that he saw the explosion. Suddenly the window glass breaks, and they see the plane actually explode. All the students and teachers look at Alex as if he caused the explosion. The FBI interrogates Alex and his friends, telling them no one sabotaged the plane but they need to investigate the explosion. They question Alex about how he knew the plane would explode. He says he dreamed it, but of course, the FBI doesn't believe him, and neither would we if we didn't know about his dream. At the same time, there is no evidence he did anything wrong. They also ask Clear, who had nothing to do with it, why she left the plane. She says she saw Alex scared and believed him, feeling the plane would really explode. Luton tells him not to talk to her again. Todd tells Alex that once things calm down, they'll hang out again and go on trips. Clear gives Alex a flower and thanks him for saving her life. Everyone still thinks Alex caused the explosion, except Clear, who is happy he saved her and gives him the flower. Todd tries to shave his beard, but the wire rack cuts him. He turns on the radio but it shuts off immediately. He goes to pick up the clothes he left in the bathtub, but slips on the wet floor, falls onto the clothesline, which wraps around his neck and he falls into the tub. The soap spills into the tub as well, and Todd starts to choke, his hands slipping and unable to get up. He reaches for scissors to cut the rope, but it's too late, and he dies. At the same time, Alex is in his room reading a magazine, when a bird hits his window. He throws the magazine at it to scare it away, but the magazine hits the fan, gets shredded, and a small piece with the letters TOD flies out. The story of Todd's death means Alex feels that something has happened to him, so he runs to his house and finds the police, the ambulance. He asks his father what happened, and his father tells him that out of guilt, Todd killed himself. But Alex says it's impossible that he would commit suicide, because he had plans with him and they were supposed to do things together. Alex suspects something is wrong. He sees Clear watching from behind a tree, and the FBI are there too and see Alex. The next day, Alex goes to Clear and asks her what she was doing at Todd's house yesterday. She says that ever since the plane crash, she feels connected to him and sensed he would be there. So they decide to go see Todd's body to find out how he died. They sneak into the morgue and stand in front of Todd's body, and suddenly his hand moves, so they get scared. The mortician comes in and tells them to be quiet or they'll wake the dead. He explains that Todd's hand moved because of brain chemistry, and that he didn't commit suicide. His death was part of Death's plan for him and he was supposed to die on the plane. Anyway, Alex and Clear leave and discuss what the mortician said. He tells her that after Todd's death, he, Clear, Carter and Wendy, and even the teacher, all have their turn coming. Carter and Wendy are driving and see Alex, so Carter gets angry. Hitchcock is riding his bike and heads toward them, and the teacher was there too. Alex tries to warn them but Carter fights with Alex. Wendy, Carter's girlfriend, argues with him and says she'll leave if he doesn't stop fighting. She crosses the road and suddenly a bus hits her and she dies. Alex is thinking about what's happening and concludes that the order of their deaths matches the order of their seats on the plane, and that the next one is the teacher. Alex goes to her house to try to protect her from anything that could kill her, but before he enters, the teacher sees him and calls the FBI. They come, arrest Alex, and start to really suspect he's behind everything, but they don't have proof, so they let him go. The teacher is at home making tea, pours boiling water into her cup, but gets startled and spills the water. She decides to drink alcohol instead, puts ice in the same cup, which immediately cracks, but she doesn't notice and walks away. The cup leaks, the alcohol spills onto the computer wires, causing a short circuit, and the screen explodes, sending glass into her neck. She starts screaming and holding her neck, but the spilled alcohol catches fire, the bottle explodes, and she falls to the ground as the house catches fire. She tries to grab a cloth to stop the bleeding, but under the cloth was a knife, which falls and stabs her in the stomach. Alex comes running to help, but finds her on the floor with the knife in her stomach, and the house on fire. He pulls the knife out, but he runs out before the house explodes, and sees Hitchcock, who happened to be passing by. The FBI starts searching for Alex, and question Clear, but she says she doesn't know where he is. They ask Hitchcock, who tells them he saw Alex leaving the teacher's house yesterday, so they officially suspect him. Clear gathers Hitchcock and Carter, and they go looking for Alex, because he's the only one who knows whose turn is next. They find him and agree they need to escape death again, just like they did on the plane. Carter asks Alex whose turn is next, but Alex refuses to say, insisting it doesn't matter. Carter gets angry and says he's not afraid of death, and if death is coming anyway, he'd rather die himself. He starts driving recklessly, and they beg him to stop, but he doesn't. They're almost hit by a truck, but narrowly escape. Carter finally stops the car on the train tracks, and Clear, Hitchcock and Alex get out and beg Carter to get out, but he refuses. At the last moment he changes his mind and tries to start the car, but it won't start. He tries to unbuckle and open the door but can't. The train is getting closer, so Alex runs to pull him out through the window. The train hits the car, but fortunately Alex saves Carter. Carter gets happy, saying that he escaped from the death at the last moment. Hitchcock gets angry on Carter. He is standing and the train behind him, and passes on a piece of metal so it flies off and decapitates Hitchcock. Alex tells them that now only he and Clear are left. Clear tells him to come to her cabin, far from the police who are after him, and she'll keep him safe there. He goes and covers everything sharp in the cabin to prevent anything from killing him. While sitting there he remembers he changed his seat on the plane, and his original seat was after Clear's, so it's actually Clear's turn, not his. He tries to light the gas to see if anything happens, but nothing does, confirming it's Clear's turn, not his. The police find his location at the cabin, so he escapes and takes a boat, then walks through the woods to save Clear. Meanwhile, Clear is home alone and starts feeling something is wrong. Lightning strikes the main power line, which falls to the ground, sparking and electrifying everything. Clear lights a candle after the power goes out, but the wind blows it out. Her dog is outside near the wire, so she goes to save him, but the water tank falls and floods the floor, making everything wet and dangerous. She climbs up the side of the house as the wire keeps moving. She goes back inside, but everything is being pulled. She goes to the garage, tries to open the garage door with the remote, but it doesn't work. The car gets stuck in the door, and the wire touches the car, electrifying it. She tries to get out, but the car won't. Alex arrives and tells her not to touch anything, as the car's tires will protect her from the electricity, as long as she doesn't touch the ground. He tries to keep her away from the wire several times, but she doesn't listen. There's gasoline under the car, and it's about to explode. Alex tells her he'll grab the wire, but as soon as he does, she must get out of the car quickly. Clear tells him he'll die, but Alex grabs the wire, gets electrocuted, and the car explodes. Clear escapes, and Alex falls to the ground. Clear runs to him, but his hands are burnt. The FBI arrive and call an ambulance, and Alex survives after saving Clear from death. We return once again to the plane, this time flying to Paris, but this time it arrives safely, thank God. Alex, Carter, and Clear decide to take a vacation after everything that happened. They notice them and try to change the mood, even to the point that she changes her hair color completely. Alex tells them, but he brings out a paper with the order of the class, and says to them, "If Clear is before me, and I survive death at that moment, that means my turn hasn't come yet, meaning death is still chasing me." Alex starts to get scared and becomes aware of everything around him, feeling like he could die at any moment. He tells them, "Wait here, don't follow me." Then Carter almost crashes into Alex, but Alex avoids him, so Carter hits a pole. The pole falls on a sign, splitting it in two, and the sign almost falls on Alex, but Carter grabs Alex at the last moment and saves him. Carter says to Alex, "Didn't I tell you it was your turn?" Alex replies, "But thank God I escaped it." Before Carter can say, "So whose turn is it now?" the second half of the sign hits someone else, and the cycle of death starts again.